Well, local is all the insights that you get from your surroundings, while global is all the insights you get from other people, media, peers in the company, somewhere in the world, but mainly media. The image of the future should not be me. That's why I got this award yesterday, and I don't understand that. I'm not the image of the future, I'm the image of the past. The image of the future should be someone who is not leaning back, giving himself to all these social media games and whatsoever, being a sort of consumer of all these possibilities, but use these possibilities to start something new, to invent, to produce, to create, and to come to a next level. Saying that, I'm not so sure if all this movement has only good things, because on the social side, how we deal with friends, I prefer to have the old world and have real friends instead of virtual friends. I cannot change anything, I guess, in the community. I can have a wish in the communication industry. I think there is a lot of things going wrong between different parts of this communication process, let's say between advertisers and agencies. I think there's a lot of respect has gone away in the last years, because many advertisers, they have a real pressure from the marketplace, and instead of trying to bring us in and say how can we better solve, quicker solve, more efficiently solve these problems, they come in and say I earn less, so you earn less, and still demanding more than before. So if I could change something, take that back to a very respectful communication and working together. Well, that counts definitely for Austria, where I come from. We have an education system that dates back, I think, about 300 years. It has never been really changed and adapted to these new fascinating technologies. So we're still learning a lot of rubbish instead of being prepared for the life that we have to live when we're getting up. I think that the eastern part of the world is far ahead in sense of ambition to learn, to adapt to the requirements of the future, while the European part, I think many kids are really saturated. They know that they cannot reach more than their parents, so they say, well, I will do what I can, but I prefer rather to enjoy my life than to start a career or do something new. And I think that will fall on our heads in the next, or already now, or in the next 10, 20 years. I think we've seen that presentation yesterday, which was dealing with that topic, and that is one of my favorite topics too. If you only communicate top-down and show the people the interest of the CEO and the shareholders, and you never have a sort of discussion or interaction with them, how can we live? How can we better reach our goals together? We are far away from telling the people what they have to do, because we know that about only 25% of the employees are really fans of this company, while 25 have mentally already given notice. So when we know that, we cannot treat everybody the same, but at the end of the day we have to interact with them and not giving only top-down information. Corporate responsibility is nothing but an accumulation of all the traditional, very meaningful values that we need that a society works. If you let drop one of these values, you can name them all, I guess, then a company is going its way, but does not understand that it is part of a society, part of a region, part of a community. So if they act only in their own interest, which they tend to, especially in tough times, then they are going to do something wrong for a longer period. And corporate responsibility, I think social responsibility, is to really understand all these values, to live after these values, and to try not to be too egoistic in the sense of profit, maximizing profits. That's hen or egg, but basically it is always creativity, because if you go back to the beginning of mankind, what did these people? They tried to survive because there was huge animals around. They had to hunt them and they had to try to survive. So they have to be very creative, because the animals were much bigger than they were, to hunt them, to kill them, to avoid being killed by them. So it was creativity. They invented the spears, they invented the guns. So it was always creativity at the beginning of mankind to survive the given situation. Now nobody has, well, it's not true really, but everybody is surviving unless they are dropping out of the social system or getting killed by a criminal. But if you take all that in account, I think creativity is the origin of what's coming next. If this is the hunting spear or an internet or any technology, so I would favor for creativity. I came here without having too many expectations, because I've seen so many of these events where I was more or less bored, because it were people who are trying to produce themselves or trying to sell their company or whatsoever. And I'm very much surprised finding people here who are a small number of people. I was surprised, I thought it would be more, but surprised that they really have topics they engage with, they have a message, there's others who debate. I think it's a very, very good format, and I will tell people about it and our trade press. And I hope I can contribute with my speech a little bit to the success.